Hi, friends. My name's Bailey. I am the host of the Y Project podcast, and today I have a dear high school friend with me, Tori. Tori and I go way back. She actually helped me start the
Way
Y
back.
Project stuff. No, literally way back.
Yeah.
Like we're 15 and 16 together.
Um,
Wait, that's literally
that's
almost,
actually really gross.
no, that's almost 10 years. Tori, isn't that insane?
Yeah. Why, yes.
Freaking crazy. Almost 10 years ago.
That is crazy.
So, but Tori and I said goodbye to each other in 2021 while we went our separate ways doing our own things. Now we're back together for this one time before she leaves.
Before I go to New Hampshire.
Yes, but she has a wonderful story of just like mental health, resilience, pushing through things, finding passion in her life. Tori's a very, very, very talented songwriter and singer. I'm obsessed with all your music. She
Thank
actually
you.
wrote something for the Y Project when we first started. And I'm actually going to link that video below because still obsessed with it. My mom still watches it.
I love that. We love Jenny.
Jenny literally
I
still
love her.
watches
Am I
it.
going to see her today?
You actually will. She'll
Okay,
come home
good.
from work
Good.
here in an hour.
I better.
So, yeah, no, you'll see Jenny today. But I am just excited for you to be here, Tori, and to just share whatever you have to share.
Well, thanks. I'm excited to be here, for real.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
So much to say.
Well, let's start off with an easy question. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are outside of any struggles that you have faced throughout your life.
I am just Ken. Just kidding. I'm just Ken. No, I am a singer. I'm a songwriter. I love sparkles. I love dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I truly never stop singing ever. I don't know. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I adore people.
Mm-hmm.
Just love like making connections. I love theater. Oh.
And you graduated recently from
Yes.
Utah State.
Yep, got a music degree.
I'll actually link all of her stuff below of all her music because
it's
fabulous.
I do not have the best discography available.
That's okay.
I just wrote my 80th song, which is like
wow, what an accomplishment.
Crazy. But yeah, I don't have very many like on the internet.
That's okay.
Got a few on Spotify and Apple Music.
I'll link it.
And then I have like a YouTube channel that I never post to. And an Instagram and TikTok that I sometimes post to.
Once in a while. So. Okay, well, I'll still link it. Whatever you have out there, I'll link. So I love that. And when did you first, or I guess we're just going to hop right into it. When did you first realize your mental health was something you couldn't simply push through or ignore anymore? Start from the beginning.
I think it was a continual lesson. I like the way I see it. I really like started dealing with, especially depression in like 7th grade, middle school, nightmare. Anyways, my 7th grade year, it was just like it got real intense real fast. And was dealing just with suicidality and depression and like did not know what was up with that. Also didn't like my family didn't talk about that stuff, and so despite later being like, oh, this totally runs in my family and of course this is happening, it was like, what is this, what's going on, like, oh sorry, I touched it. You're fine. Anyways, yeah, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And like my family, like my mom like wouldn't say the word therapy, she'd only call it counseling. And like wouldn't say depression. And like anyways, so yeah, that's when for a while I was like, that's when it started. But then like as I went on, I was like, oh, I can also see all of this like just reaching back through my entire life, particularly anxiety too, because 8th grade was when I like really started to notice the anxiety and like have more panic attacks and stuff. But then I was like, oh, that's what that was. Like, she's always been here.
Do you think you were just like an anxious child in general,
Yeah,
or
I don't think anybody would have said that because I'm very, listen, I love attention, okay? I love attention. Oh my gosh.
So dead.
No, yeah, and I was like that kid who was always doing the most, like trying to get the attention, and like probably would have been called like a really brave kid. And I think I very high functioning, like never had problems in school when I was younger. Now, girl. But anyways, I feel like
you just masked
so
it
much,
really well.
yeah, so much of it was just internalized, which I like still do, but
yeah,
but definitely not as much.
Yeah. How did your mental health progress
Girl,
as you got older, and when did you know that like you needed to start seeking help, or was there any particular help that you were like,
yeah,
this is
well,
what I need?
7th grade was like, what the heck is this? What's going on? It was like, oh, like maybe, oh, like maybe we'll go to the counseling. Like, oh, I'll set you up with a counselor, but it just like kind of didn't happen. And then 8th grade, I remember so vividly, like riding the bus and walking into school on the first day of 8th grade, being like, because the summer after 7th grade, I was chilling. I was good. I was like, whew. Like I thought it was just like a temporary, one-time trial. That was really cute of me. But anyways, I remember walking into 8th grade and being like, it's just a mind game. I just have to win the game. Like it's just a mindset. And then Miss Girl was thoroughly disappointed within, I don't know, a couple months, if not weeks, like just realizing, oh crap, like that was not just a one-time situation. Anyways, so it was like I struggled pretty bad through all of middle school, and then it was the very end of middle school that I was like, we'd talked about going to therapy and whatever, but it just like never happened.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, the whole family like has ADHD, and it was just a task. you know how it be.
We can never complete tasks with ADHD.
Yeah, it just was on the list, but not really happening.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I finally got to a point where I was like, I was so nervous. I was like driving with my dad one day, and I was like, okay, when we pass this thing, I'll say it out loud. Oh my gosh, okay, when we pass this thing, I'll say it. Oh, when we pass the point of the mountain, I'll say it, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like so anxious. And I finally just like reached up and like paused his audiobook. And I was like, I need help. And I need to not be ignored. Like I was like, this can't keep getting put off. Like I need help. Anyway, so that's when I like first started therapy. It was very end of 8th grade. And yeah, I saw that therapist. What an interesting time. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to like look back at that and be like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea what was going on and what was happening and just everything about it.
Yeah.
Literally crazy. So,
yeah. So I feel like as a teenager too, sometimes you're like, I feel crazy because why am I feeling this way? Why can't I just like get this feeling out of me? Like I remembered feeling that too in middle school. Where I'm like, why am I always sad? Like literally, why can't I just be happy? Like
for real,
this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of also like church culture of like it's just your mindset. Like just be happy, and also like just pray and just ask God to take it away. And if you're still doing bad, like your faith isn't good enough or whatever, just all that jazz. Yeah, I just had really like zero context for like, oh, I have like lifelong mental illness that is not going to go away. And then particularly like when the journey shifted. So I saw a therapist here in Utah. I saw a couple therapists here in Utah, and then I moved when I was 16 to Illinois. And I did not get a therapist immediately upon moving, which was silly goose behavior. But it was, I don't know. I was like, I know I need to do therapy, but like, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, then my house burned down.
Yeah. What a traumatic
and so that was
experience.
That was just itself. Like the absolute final straw for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, I don't know. It's funny because people like since then, like the therapist that I started seeing right after that was like, oh my gosh, like, but the fire, which, like, yes, did I have issues from the fire? Why, yes. But it was really just like the straw on the stack of like, I had built up so much, I don't even know how to describe it, like so much trauma and so much like dealing with mental health issues without healing from them and like taking care of them and just internalizing and like, and I didn't even know what it was. Like I didn't know how to put my finger on it. I didn't know how to explain it. But the analogy I would use around the time that like my house burned down, so I was 17 when that happened. Or actually, I guess it was right before I turned 17, like a month before. Is I felt like I was trapped in a room. It was just like an office, like no windows, just like a square room, and there was like a desk, and the whole room was just filled, like floor to ceiling, desk to ceiling, with papers. Just like so much that it's so overwhelming, and I didn't know where to start, and I didn't really know what it was, but I knew something was there that I was like missing. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I was like, I cannot live like this anymore. Like I am so miserable. I gotta like figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
And so it was when I started seeing that therapist. Her name was Kristen. Shout out to Kristen. Kristen. We love her. We really do. That was wow. That was like it really broke everything open. It was also crazy timing. So my house burned down in February of 2020. So I had just moved across the country like 6 months earlier, was just starting to adjust. My house burns down, COVID starts. I start seeing a new therapist literally like the weekend the world shut down. It was March 15th that I like saw her for the first time, and then we were like virtual for weeks. Anyways, but I started to, I don't know, just like uncover so much about why I was so miserable. And it was like, okay, like, yes, we have the like biological aspect of it, and like genetic disposition and like that type of thing. It was also at that time that I like learned, it's kind of weird because everyone's like, I've always hung out with older people. Like when I was 11, I'd be hanging out with like 18-year-olds, not in a weird way, but in like an older sister figure kind of way. And whatever. And I've always been called like an old soul. And I've been able to like fit in with these older groups, but it wasn't even, I mean, like there was an aspect. It's so funny to say, because what I'm about to say, like when I started with that therapist, what I learned is I had the emotional intelligence and like skills of a toddler. And which is like kind of funny because it's like everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're an old soul, like you do so well, like with older people, it's like you're not even 12 or whatever. And so it's like, okay, some of that was like emotional maturity in some ways, but I think a lot of it was also just masking, because I was so good at just like placating, I guess. Like my therapist had to like look at me in the eyes at 17 years old and like say with all the love in her heart, like, you have the emotional intelligence of a toddler. Not because like you're dumb or anything, but I just never gained those skills. I never learned those skills, and I like, I don't know. You know how you can get stuck at an age, like trauma can keep you at a younger age where you don't continue to develop. In a lot of ways, like it was that. And but also now, like, I can see it more gracefully and be like, it's okay. Like, I didn't learn the skills, but also, like, I can't be mad at my parents because they didn't know the skills either, and they didn't know what they didn't know. And like, it's not like they got to live in super like emotionally healthy households. Like, that was another thing I was really confusing a lot in my journey, was like, my childhood was really good.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. Family was together. We, at least on the outside, like, we're this perfect Mormon family, and all the kids were so good in school, and like, everyone's always telling our parents, "Oh, your kids are so great." And it was like such a good kind of narrative that we had going on, that it was like, I believed it too while I was like living in it.
Yeah.
Until years later, when I started to like just suffer the consequences of not having like learned emotional skills.
Do you feel like a big part of that as well was church culture, as to them not developing some of that, or
actually,
maybe you?
yes. I am not involved in the church anymore. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of it. Is it's like, especially like, some families are able to be like nuanced about things and kind of think about things differently. For my family, it was just a very like black and white, like, they give us all the instructions, we just do whatever they say, we don't think about it, we don't do like the critical thinking thing. And also, like, we're supposed to be grateful, and we're supposed to be happy, and we're supposed to be like, and also like, yeah, I guess just like, count your blessings, like, nothing's really wrong with your life, so you can't have feelings, you can't be sad, was kind of the vibe. And like, yeah, some of that comes from church, I would say. And that ended up being really detrimental.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, because now for me, being a parent, right, to Rosie, it is very interesting looking back, because when I graduated, I had so much anger towards my parents too. Of like, you didn't do this right.
Quite the age.
And
Quite
literally, I'm like
17, 18, brutal.
Literally, I was diabolical to my parents. Sorry, mom and dad.
Sorry, guys.
I was so mean to you. Like, I was a meanie. I was so mean. But I felt such deep anger, because I was like, why didn't you, like, now that I'm 18, why didn't you know how to do this? Or why didn't you understand?
Right.
Or like, when I got home from my mission and they were like, oh, you don't have depression, you actually have OCD that masks as depression. I'm like, why didn't I know this? Like, why didn't we have these tools? And it was like this anger that I directed towards my parents. And like, my parents, again, too, I have a wonderful relationship with them. They've never given me a reason to like not have a good relationship. But I think that's a normal part of processing through what we're diagnosed with realizing things that need to change about ourselves. It's so uncomfortable, and it sucks that the environment and those around us influence that. And at the same time, though, I see it as something that is just part of like humanity and being human and learning how to forgive and love and move forward. Because I look at my parents and I'm like, I get it. Like, there's so much grace that I extend to my parents, where it's like, oh, this was their household, or oh, this is how they grew up, or oh, they didn't have the education, or they also didn't talk about mental health, and that was their first trying to navigate it, or just whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to strike that balance of like, there's so much rage. There's so much rage. But also like getting to the grace part, where it's like,
absolutely,
okay, you didn't do better because you just like, you literally just were doing your best. You were doing the best with the skills that you had, and you like did better than your parents raised you, and we're all just like, trying to get better and better with each generation.
We're trying to figure it out.
But yeah, I was so angry for
and
a
that's
long
okay.
time.
Yeah, that's totally okay.
Especially because at like 17, 18, I was like starting to see these patterns and starting to see like, oh, here's like a thing that kind of hurt me or kind of screwed me over, like in long term, or here's these things that are still happening, these patterns, and I could see them, but I couldn't do anything about it. I like didn't have the skills yet to like call it out appropriately, or to not get activated over it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a terrible time. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, and it's like that comes in waves. Like it's
for sure.
I'm at a point right now in my life where I'm like pretty I feel a lot of grace for my parents. Like I've settled in that. But there's been a lot of anger along the way.
Oh, for sure. I once had a therapist tell me that it's very normal to have that anger come back. Like it's so normal for you to be like, why am I mad at this person again? Or why am I working through this problem again?
Right.
So it's like
because
we'll
that's the
have
thing,
grace periods,
it
but
just keeps coming around.
Yeah, like, it does. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look at this unhealthy behavior that I picked up and that's now hurting me. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and that's trauma 101 and just life 101 is it's like you pick up habits that help you survive and help you like function in a certain situation, and then when you're not in that situation anymore, they're suddenly very harmful habits.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, I don't know, like lots of the habits I picked up like helped me grow up in my house and like live just in the circumstances that I had and protected me.
Yeah.
And then it, like as I got older, I was like, why like can't I show my emotions in front of people, and why can't I connect with people deeply, and why can't I stop hiding and masking?
For people out there, if you have struggles with childhood, parents, things like that, that journey of feeling grace, of feeling anger, of whatever it is, it's okay where you're at. And I love that you're in a place of grace. You deserve that.
Thank you, bestie.
You deserve to feel a place of peace and grace right now through everything that you've been through.
And like my parents have done a ton of work.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Especially my mom. Both of them.
Isn't that so nice when you have parents
learning
that evolve
more about mental health, and
that's so great.
Because it was frustrating to me. Like I'm the youngest in my family. And I was not the first kid to like have depression or anxiety or be suicidal, like and yet when it came along for me, it was like it was like I was I don't know, it just still like hadn't been addressed. And like my older siblings had different experiences with therapy and stuff. And I kind of felt like I was like the only one doing the work sometimes. And like I was kind of like leading the way. I don't know if they feel that way. But hi guys, if you're listening. Anyways, just because I like really stuck with therapy first. Yeah. And just I don't know, I'm like lucky though because I have this very insistent drive to be okay. Like a lot of people just get so tired and they just give up. Like they don't have anything to give, which like I get that and I feel that in a lot of ways. But there's always been this like part of me that's like, I refuse to be miserable. Like I don't want to live like this, and I'm not just gonna sit here and take it. Yeah. I mean, obviously there's chapters where I do, and I'm like, I'm so exhausted. Yeah. But.
Well, that's just part of your journey. You're a fighter, though. I love that about you. You're so passionate about things, and I feel like passion creates people that are willing to fight. Through more of your journey, though, you did your therapy, went to an awesome therapist at 16, 17, during COVID.
17, 18, 19. So, I stayed with her for a few years.
I love that. Yeah. And then once you get to college.
Girl.
I know you post. Okay, I know stuff because of what you posted.
Actually, let me back it up a little. Yeah. Because like along, like yes, the therapy route was there, but I also like, I think it was my freshman year of high school that I first started like medication. And then it was like my senior year, right before I moved out to college, I did TMS, which is transcranial magnetic stimulation, where they put the machine thingy on your head brain, and the magnets go, wake up brain, wake up, and it makes your eyebrows twitch. It was, yeah, so it was like I'd tried some different things.
You get to college, and I know that college was a little rough.
Girl.
Here and there. to put it lightly.
Dude, no. Here and there. No, I actually feel that way about like literally every single chapter of my life. So I'm like, oh, that was rough. And I'm also like, oh, that was such a beautiful time.
Yeah, literally.
Like, yeah. I feel that way about every year of high school, like every year of college. Wow. Where to even
what was that transition like for you into college? And then
so I was able to keep meeting with the same therapist, like we just did virtual, and I saw her I think like at least like 2 years into college. So I was with her for a long time, which was awesome. Like we had a very good working relationship. College was a huge adjustment because it's like, oh, I'm not living under my parents' roof anymore. Yeah. Like, and so I'm seeing like dysfunctional things in myself that don't really work in the real world. And also like there's kind of more space to be angry, and like I think that's so essential though. Okay, for me it's so essential, not just like in a parent way, in like so many contexts. Anger is essential because anger is the thing that tells you like I deserve better. Like I want something better. Yeah. And anger also like I think is a mechanism of like keeping you away from things that you need to move on from. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Anyways, so kept seeing the same therapist, was just like doing the young adult thing, the big adjustment. I'm like, I'm out here living on my own, figuring my stuff out. And honestly, girl, those first couple of years of college, I mean all of college, was just an identity tornado. The first like 2.5, 3 years, like more than focusing on like my mental health, just it was always there, but it was kind of on the back burner. Yeah. Like I was continually in therapy and whatever, but not like super focused on it in my life. But it was a big like time of identity crisis and like figuring stuff out, because I was like just accepting that I was queer and like coming out and figuring that out with the church, and like that was absolutely brutal, like soul tearing to navigate. And so that was like really the all-consuming thing in my life for a few years there. And then once I got to more of a settled place, which like the place that I am settled right now is I stepped away from the church. And I'm just very comfortable like with my queer identity, and like am like figuring out what I really believe. Yeah. And just letting it like come to me rather than being like told something and then being like, that's what we believe. That's what you believe. Yeah. Anyways, once that settled, silly me, I was like, I've been in therapy for like a lot of time now, like since I was 14, and I was like, I don't know, 21 at that point. I was like, I've been on the same meds since high school, and I am not like the happiest ever, so I don't know if they're really doing anything. And also like I've done all the therapy, all of the good therapy like that I've had has been done in the time since I started these meds. So I'm like, okay, like maybe like I don't know what they're doing, and also like maybe I have the skills now to deal with this better. And so in the summer of, oh my gosh, what year is it right now? I think it was 2024 that I like weaned off my meds because I was like, I'm in a pretty good spot. Like, I'm feeling like I really just want to get a baseline of like, what is my natural functioning level? Like, what is my coping ability? Anyway, so I like with my doctor, and I'm feeling like slowly weaned off of my meds, which was miserable. But I went too long without, like, I got to a point where I was like, oh, I need those. And I was like hesitant to just go. I'd always gotten my meds from like my primary care doctor, and I was like, I really would like to see someone who's like more of a specialist, but psychiatrists like take forever to get into, and I didn't really like know what my other options were. Anyways, basically, I went too long without the meds, and I just like crashed and burned. Was doing so terribly. Like, I feel like there were a few weeks where I was like, it was the depression that was so bad, and then it was really like the anxiety that took me over the edge. The like last couple weeks before I ended up like doing a hospitalization, because I just like I couldn't eat. I just never felt okay. Anyways, and I had never like had a hospitalization or anything. It was kind of like taboo in my family. But I was with a friend of mine in Logan, a mom friend, who her husband's a doctor, and I was at her house that day because I was just like, I am not well, like I'm not good, and so I was at their house for the day, like I wasn't eating and just feeling like really bad, and then we went to like a social thing, and I like had a panic attack and just like was not talking, not responsive. Anyways, and her husband, and there was another doctor there actually, they were both like, it's time. Like she should go to the hospital. Which was like really freaking scary. But also such a relief. Like the immense relief that I felt knowing like, okay, I'm not like sitting on this teeter-totter, do I go or do I not go? Like I'm just going. And somebody like, it was, if somebody else hadn't like made the call, like I never would have made the call for myself. Anyways, yeah, but I ended up being admitted, and it was a super positive experience.
That's awesome.
Which like I recognize is not everybody's experience. It can be very traumatic. I honestly think like if I had gone into the hospital before when I did, it would have probably been really traumatic for me because of the lack of coping skills. Whereas not going into the hospital until I was like 22, 21, an age,
an older
around
age.
21 or 22. Guys, I'm only 23. Anyways, I had already, like, I had the skills, like, advocating for myself, being able to ask, like, recognize my needs and ask for them to be met. And that was really, really important in the hospital. I like, because I got to feel a lot of autonomy, and a lot of people don't get that experience. I was also really lucky in like with the circumstance being it was a voluntary admission. Like I went in kind of like by my own choice. I didn't want to leave until I was ready. Whereas a lot of people, it's like they really want to leave, but like they feel like they're locked in there. They can't get out because they're not safe to go. But like they're like, get me out of here. But for me, it was like I was so grateful.
Sorry, people, if you can hear my baby.
I was so grateful to have a place where I could, like, where one, I knew I was safe. I knew people were checking on me. I knew that the people around me, like, knew I was struggling and not doing well. And where I could set everything else down and focus 100% of my energy on, like, healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being like a really positive thing. Another thing that really came from like having that admission, and then I had another admission like 9 months later, which similarly was a really good experience. But I was like, an additional reason I'm super grateful for is it really pushed me forward in my journey of like discovering things and getting more answers and trying different treatments, because there's like so much that I hadn't tried or done up to that point. There's still so much I haven't tried or done.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned, like before I went to the hospital the first time, like I hadn't even seen a psychiatrist. Like I'd been seeing like getting my meds from primary care, and so it was like, okay, it moved me forward with like seeing a psychiatrist, and that, like, oh, that was a journey, girl. And so this is something I like have not talked about on the internet or told you, but no. I got an autism diagnosis last year, like a year ago, and well, I don't know when exactly I got the ADHD diagnosis, because my psychiatrist likes to like think I know that, think that she's told me things when she hasn't. And anyway,
you're like, actually,
I'm like,
I don't
know. you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Anyways, those were also huge game changers.
That's awesome.
Because I'm like, oh, like maybe I, like, at this point I'm like, I don't know that I necessarily have a depressive disorder or an anxiety disorder, or if I'm just experiencing the depression and anxiety like because I haven't been meeting my needs as a neurodivergent person. And you know, maybe all of it, both of it, whatever.
It's a mix of everything.
All that, literally, it's like, is the ADHD causing the anxiety, causing the depression, causing the, like, I just have a, you know, a whole mix in there. Some, you know, CPTSD, autism, slay.
Love.
Anyways, yeah, but that's been a really, just like a thing that has kept me moving forward and learning about myself and like learning how to take better care of myself. Also, back to the like therapy journey, after spending a few years with the therapist that I started meeting with when I was like 17, we just kind of like hit a plateau where I was like, okay, like we've done the work that we can do together. And I was also like really in the middle of figuring out like the religious stuff, and I was like, I need somebody who can understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so I switched therapists. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how years work, guys. Like, probably the beginning of 2024. I don't know. Yeah, that sounds right. Switched. At some point, I started seeing a new therapist, because I also was like, okay, I've like talked through a lot of things. Just like, guys, see different therapists, try different modalities. Yes, oh my gosh, absolutely. Like, do it. If you've hit the end of the road with one therapist, like, it's okay. I've done it now multiple times, like, or I guess, okay, a couple, but
yeah. A therapist for a season, you know, is totally fine.
And it was like, that was exactly what I needed. And now, like, you've taught me what you can teach me. And now I got to a point where I was like, I actually would really like to see a therapist who has some more like trauma modalities and resources, like EMDR and stuff like that. So I switched, worked with that therapist for like a year and a half. It was super great. The main thing that I like learned from that therapist, EMDR really actually was not that great for me. I did not.
My husband doesn't like it either.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Basically, I didn't handle it well. And I would just have panic attacks and like dissociate and all that fun stuff. But the thing that I ended up learning with that therapist was like I had this very deep seated belief that I was broken. And I just like fully believed that about myself. Where I was like, no, like it's literally just proof like I have these disorders, I am broken. Like anyways, yeah, and it was like kind of the long overarching theme, arching, I don't know. Anyways, theme of working with that therapist is just being like realizing like, oh, like I'm not broken. Especially in the way of like, because I did not have the help and support that I needed through my like teen years of dealing with some really intense mental illness, like I had gained all these ideas about it, to where like I kind of attributed everything to like mental health issues, even if it was like my therapist, it pissed me off, but my therapist would be like, Tori, like that's just being human. Like, she's like, that's not mental health related. Like that's not a disorder. That's just being a human person. And I was like,
you're like,
I did not like that.
No. Yeah.
Because I like to feel special.
You said
I cannot tell a lie. I cannot tell a lie. I like to feel special and think that I'm special. And
but I think that's important for people to realize is there's mental health.
Yes. Yeah, stuff, just like the regular spectrum.
And then there's just having a bad day.
Because that was the thing is I, for so long, did not know how to just be sad without being absolutely depressed, devastated, like unwell.
Yes.
I had to learn how to just be like sad.
And that's okay. And that's a human like, emotion.
Grief. Yeah. And have heartbreak. And not be like, there's the depression. No. Like it I mean, and yes. But no. Like, yeah, so that was like it was a really good thing to learn. And yeah, just like was going through some big growing life experiences at the time. But starting to be able to recognize like, okay, like this isn't mental illness, this is life. This is me growing. This is me like I am so sad and that's okay. I am in deep grief and that's okay. Yeah. Like that's just the human experience. Anyways, so I worked with that therapist for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then it was like about a year ago that I got the autism testing and like I'd had the ADHD diagnosis for a little bit from the psychiatrist, and was like, okay, like the current therapist that I was working with, like that just wasn't her specialty. And I also was like, okay, EMDR is like not really working for me. I was like, I think I need to try something new. Like I was like feeling good about neurofeedback. I was like, I think that's something I want to try, like, or IFS, because that was also something that the neuropsychologist who had done like the autism testing had recommended for me. Was IFS, and then I was like, and I also just want someone who like just understands neurodivergence more. Yeah, like my flavor of it.
Yeah, absolutely. My flavor, I love that.
Yes, my flavor of it, which I love that. Like the diagnosis process was really hard to. I originally, girl, I saw the neuropsychologist. I did the test. Well, we had like a whatever it's called. Oh my gosh, my brain is like just so brain fog lately. Oh my gosh, consultation. So we did that, and then I like went in person, and it was like the long test, which was scheduled for like it usually takes like 4 hours, and I finished it in 2.5. I was like boom, 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 and she kept being like, oh my gosh, like your processing speed, and I was just like, ding, ding, ding. I'm having the time of my life out there. Okay, I'm like, I love puzzles. This is so fun. Oh my gosh, questions and riddles and shapes and patterns. I love this. And anyways, so I like went through it really fast, and on my initial like post-test consultation, the neuropsychologist was not gonna diagnose me with autism or ADHD.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like,
You said,
girl, what?
I don't know if that's correct.
I said, what do you mean? Because also, like, the person who got me to go see a neuropsychologist, like, all 6 of her kids are neurodivergent, 5 of them are autistic. And she, like, is a therapist who specifically works with, like, neurodivergent folks. And she knows me super well, like, better than almost anyone. And she had been like, girl, you have got to go see this doctor. Like, and she told me, oh, this doctor, like, will understand, because ADHD tends to present differently, like, in girls. And she's like, she'll understand that, like, she'll see past your masking. And so when she didn't, it was, like, soul crushing.
Yeah.
But luckily, I had my little advocate for self skills. And so, well, first I think I, like, cried about it.
Yeah.
Literally, like, during the meeting, I was like, a little shutdown.
Yeah.
And then she was like, talk to me, like, what's going on? Which was so awesome on her part, to have a doctor go, like, okay, you think I'm wrong, like, tell me why. Like, you know you better than I know you. And so I was like, here's all these things that you can't see in this little testing, like, setting. Because I was like, that was fun. Like, I was, like, locked in.
Yes.
And, like, how are you supposed to see all of these different things? I was like, here's this and this and this and this and this. Anyways, and so she was like, oh yeah, okay, yes, like, this does sound like ADHD. Like, I'm gonna write your report with ADHD in it. Anyways, but she still, like, left autism out of the picture, because originally she had said, basically what she said is, like, you're not autistic, you're just hella traumatized.
I'm done. You said, okay, thanks.
I was like, okay, that's so great.
I'm so dead by that.
I did not handle it well.
Because I want to go back and ask a couple questions that I have. First thing that I love to talk about, if you're willing to dive into it, is what was that like for you to navigate your queer identity with LDS church things? And what advice or things would you give to others that are maybe struggling with the same thing?
When I was, like, first coming to terms with my queerness, I really wanted to stay in the church. Like, there was no part of me that wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to make it work. But, like, I tried so hard and I wanted it so badly. It was a struggle to be like, here is this piece of my identity that has been there my whole life and has literally structured my whole life. It's like everything about my life basically revolved around Mormonism.
Yeah.
And here's this part of me that I have tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to push away, but it just keeps, like, knocking on the door from inside. Like, you have to see me, you have to see me. And I'm super grateful for it. Like, I would never wish the pain of, like, the deconstruction that I experienced and the dissonance and all of that. But I have come out on the other side of it now, and I'm so grateful for it, and I, like, would never undo it. Like, that was my whole life and my whole soul. Like, I went through the temple. Like, I really wanted to make it work. I'm also generally at peace with it, where I can look at it and go, I appreciate everything that growing up in the church gave me. Like, I mean, it formed my whole life. Like, I wouldn't be who I am today without having grown up in the church.
Well, the last question, well, I have 2 more questions, but the other question I wanted to touch on really quick, with your hospitalization, what would be maybe some advice or just some inside perspective of someone that's maybe grappling with that same experience of, like, should I go, should I not?
Yes.
What would you tell someone?
I've had really cool experiences actually since going to the hospital, where, like, because I've been open about it, where, like, I had someone call me and be like, my sister really doesn't want to go, she's so scared, can you talk to her? And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like there's the practical advice, like, you can pack 3 pairs of pants and 3 shirts, and you can't have anything with strings or hoods, and, like, because when you're able to go voluntarily rather than something like an attempt happens and you get brought in, it's really nice to have your own, like, clothes and comforting stuff like that. But I think, like I said, like, I never would have made the call on my own, because I am very much a, well, I can do it person.
Mm-hmm.
I can be fine. I'll be fine. I won't be good. Yeah. I will not be good, but I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll survive. Like, and for me, okay, like content warning, like suicidal ideation, blah, blah, blah. Like even when I like, that's really strong for me and I'm experiencing a lot of like suicidal ideation. And even when I like want to die, like I know deep down that I won't, like I won't take action in that direction. Because I have always been like lucky and had that, like I've always had a clarity. I'm very lucky in that way because a lot of like mental health issues will entirely take that away. Yeah. Anyways, but it's like just because you are not going to do the worst of the worst doesn't mean you shouldn't like
get the help that
admit
you
yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like, okay, like life is completely like you're going to kill yourself, like okay, go to the hospital. It's also like I am completely miserable, I'm not eating, I cannot manage my life, I feel just like nothing is okay ever. And like even just ideation and like is enough to say like I need help, I need to go be somewhere safe. Something that was also really helpful for me with both my hospitalizations was like I needed that break from life where I did not have to keep handling things. Because as long as you're out of the hospital, you have to keep handling things. But the hospital makes people go, oh, they're in the hospital. Like, no, you can't come to work and you can't, like, you don't have your phone. Yeah. And you cannot bother me. Like, it makes the world have to understand, like, that you cannot be pushed and that you can't, like, they can't expect anything of you. Yes. And for me, that was like a part of it that was really important. It was just the decompression. Just the like, I have wound myself up so tight that I can't like function anymore. I just need to breathe. Like, you don't just go to the hospital if you're, I mean, obviously you go to the hospital if you're dying, duh. But there are plenty of people at the hospital who are not actively like dying. It's like help. You're gonna go there and you're gonna get your broken arm like in a cast.
Yes. Yeah, so. Absolutely. No, I love that analogy. And because even like looking back at my teenage years, I'm like, I probably should have been hospitalized.
No, for real.
Like I literally am like 16-year-old me should have been locked up somewhere.
No, I feel the exact same way. I'm like, wow, teenage me like really, really was not well.
Yeah. So and something too that I think is so funny is I've had people tell me before, like, I don't want to go to the hospital because I don't want it to set me back. But here's the thing, girl.
It sprung me so far forward, guys. And it's just such a safe place to stabilize your meds.
Yes. Like, because how are you going to continue to move forward when you can't even take one step without a panic attack? Like, that's not a way to live life, you know? And it's not about pushing through things. Something that my husband told me before I got my ADHD meds is he was like, because I didn't want to do my ADHD meds for some reason. That was like a really weird thing for me. And he was like, so you just struggle through things every day? And I was like, yeah, I push through. And he was like, why?
But you don't have to.
Like literally, he's like, you don't have to just push through life.
That's the crazy part,
every
guys.
Single day. So you don't have to just push through.
You don't have to suffer just because you can.
Yes.
Just because you can get through it doesn't mean you should be making things harder on yourself when there could be an easier way.
Yes. And I'm so grateful that you're so open about hospitalization and willing to talk about it, because I feel like, Tori, because of your personality and so many people love you and they look at you and they see all the things you do, you being someone that stands on all 10 toes and is like, go to the hospital, I did it, get help, I think more people will because of it. And so I'm so grateful for that. One more question, or last question that we'll end off, that I ask every single guest is, what is your why and why do you choose to stay?
So many things. Sparkles and color and sunsets and people and dogs and dolphins and theater and music and literally like so many things. But I think the absolute biggest one is human connection. Like I love people. I love so deeply, and I like, that is the thing that fuels me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the reason I stay.
Yes.
Like when it really gets down to it in those critical moments, I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But I cannot like do that to these people that love me deeply and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to get like misconstrued with like, I don't know, like, oh, it's selfish if you like, no.
Yes.
Suicide is never selfish. Like, you know, like it's selfish to the other people in your life, but for me, like I love them so deeply that I, even when the suffering doesn't feel worth it for me, I am willing to continue suffering, like, to not put them in that pain and grief. And also, just like, all of, like, so many beautiful things, and like, most, whatever, of the best days of your life have not happened yet.
I love that.
Like, that's the thing, is it's like, you are going to keep having your experiences and meeting people, and like, you just never know what's coming. Because that's the thing, is like, I, as a little like teenager in a Mormon bubble and just like kind of a smaller town, like I could not have fathomed the things that I would get to like experience. And that's even true of just like me 2 years ago.
Yes.
It's like, life continues to just like become more rich and beautiful. That, yeah, it's worth it.
Oh, I love that, Tori. Thank you. That's my why too. It's connection. We have the same why.
Holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
Literally. I can't. That's so funny. Well, I love you, Tori. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'll leave a ton of links down below of just everything that we've talked about. If anyone has any questions about hospitalization or needing resources for anything, feel free to message us too.
So. Yeah. Hit me up. Slide into my DMs. I'm terrible at answering it. I've got to warn you. But love a mental health chat. Yes, be ready for a voice memo from someone you don't even know, because I will send a voice memo to a stranger.
I love that. And that's why we're the same person, because so would I.
Period.
So
there's just too much to say.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Tori.